So now we have established that the river is one of the 24, is the 9th angel of the 24 elders of the holy angels. So Anuki said, or Anuki seed is the father. Mutsa is the Redeemer, the Christ, the living water. So I think those are the two names that we are going to meet here. So I'll read through. Anuki seed, in his vast wisdom, has given us rivers, and the spirit of a river can bring quietness to your soul and rich happiness. And to know them is like watching a worker going about their task of love with diligence, who will not be disturbed or held back, and they are ever giving and utterly selfless, endlessly flowing, and they greet you on their way by. And the banks of the river are her companions day and night, and they hold the voice of the river, and they love the river that is in their embrace with tender love and deep affection. And the riverbanks are familiar with the pathway of life of the righteous. So that's a very important point. So the river is selfless, like we have read there. It brings quietness to your soul, rich happiness. And when you are watching the water flowing, it's like you are watching workers going about their task of love and with diligence, and they will not be disturbed. It's like, they cannot be bothered or held back, and they are ever giving, utterly selfless, endlessly flowing. So that's more like charity, the spirit of charity. So, and then we have the riverbank. A riverbank is like the hands of a mother holding their little kid or child. So the banks to the river are her companion day by night. They hold the voice of the river. So if you have ever seen a deluge or a flood or a river flowing, that voice of the river, they hold, the banks hold the voice of the river, and they love the river that is in their hands or in their embrace with tender love and affection. And the riverbanks are familiar with the pathway of life, of the life of the righteous. So for righteous people, the riverway is more like it's a pathway. It's familiar with the righteousness. So the righteous who are the spirit of the river associate with, it guides them so that they could flow within the guided wall of the banks, which embrace the river, and inside the spirit of the river will be embracing the righteous who associate with its spirit. And they know when we are seeing the river, because it's the pathway of the life of the righteous, and they know the right questions to ask. For sometimes we need answers, and we don't even know the questions. But with the river, when you are in the river, you are standing in the river, it gives you the right questions to ask. For sometimes we need answers. So you are there and you have a lot of questions and you are puzzled, or you are in a stalemate somehow, or are stagnant in your life or in your thoughts and spirit and prayer life. So when you are in the presence of the river, it will give you the push to know what questions or which questions to ask, and then also the answers that you need, it will give back. I don't even know the questions, and the riverbank will tell you the right questions. So because the riverbank guides the waters of the river, so the riverbank will tell you the right questions because it's the guide, and so you can know where to look for the answer. The river represents a constant call to cross over. And crossing over has many faces. For we cross over from childhood to youth, from singleness to married, from be a man or a woman to be a parent. We are all called by her to cross over from alienation from creation to righteousness with creation. This is one thing that we fail to see or identify with righteousness. Alienation to creation. Be a stranger to creation. Be a stranger to the river. Be a stranger to the tree. Be a stranger to the animals. When you are righteous, you become aligned, one with creation, one with the rivers, one with the trees, one with the wind, one with the sun. So now, righteousness, you align with creation. Do you ever thank a river? All she does in ancient time to the... Do you ever thank the river? All she does in ancient times to the present. Holy people will not cross a river without a prayer. So when you find yourself in the presence of the river, you must pray and thank her for allowing you to cross, for allowing you to even stand in that water, for allowing her waters to embrace you, for allowing the banks to hold the water intact and that shape so that it could bless you.